So you don't know whether, he might have taken a shot at him going into that last corner that we missed. He got a little bit sideways. But you can see right now there's about a 1.5 second gap. It'll be interesting to see if he can make that up. Then we'll learn if he's got the faster car.
Well, the guy who's got the fastest car right now is without question the man on the 21, Peter Dempsey. He's been so strong, leading all the laps, starting from the pole. Jamie.
Peter Dempsey told me earlier in the weekend that even though in qualifying he broke the track record, he felt like he could have gone much quicker, but the local yellows really slowed him down. He said he only got about 3 good clean laps in qualifying, so with the lead that he's pulled out now, looks like he might have been right.
Yeah, and that's scary for the rest of the competitors too, because when you're that fast enough to get the pole already, and you had more in the tank, that's a strong combo.
Yeah, it certainly is. Bodes well for his confidence. But then again, remember, Ardoin thought he would be able to get the pole because he had a fuel pressure issue in qualifying. So you never know what your competitors are going to have for the race till you get out there. But I just see right now, I see our Irishman Dempsey, gaining confidence, getting stronger every single lap, and saying, okay, this championship is going to be mine. It's got to be mine, because really he's one of these guys needs to do well in order to keep his program alive.
Here comes Edwards around the 52 of Dave Mundy.
Nice of Mundy to try to get out of that battle. Let these guys race.
Well, this is a type of place, too, where the corner workers really have to be on their game, too, because, as they've said, it's like racing in a tunnel. You need all the help visually you can possibly get to give yourself as much of an opportunity as you can to get out of the way.
Yeah.
J.W. Roberts, by the way, in the 65, getting lapped down.
And right now, it's a difficult thing. Oh, this will help.
That's Mundy in the 52.
You don't know whether that happened after he was pointing guys by and then, got some pickup on his tires. Looks like it's no harm, no foul, but right there we saw Dempsey coming up on lap traffic, and that's always a dicey deal when you're the leader, because you have 2 guys in front of you racing. They might be seeing a blue flag and be totally unaware that you're coming up on them.
Oh, lots of smoke. Edwards and Ardoin.
Carried it in so deep. And Ardoin has pulled him back, and I don't know whether the traffic had a lot to do with it. But Ardoin, who was about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds back, is back up there now. Now, we got to get Edwards a sponsor, because he had been getting a lot of airtime today.
Well, that's how you do it. You earn it.
He has been doing a nice job.
He has definitely been running strong here today. Just one race outside of the top 15, 19th in the first race at Portland. A 6th at Watkins Glen. And it did not start at Sebring. One of the things that's probably going to hurt him a little bit in the points this year. We'll be right back for more of the Star Mazda Championship, presented by Goodyear. Working our way towards the checkers here at round number 7 of the Star Mazda Championship, presented by Goodyear. Grand Prix of Trois Rivières, one of the long-standing stops on the tour. 2 visits north of the border this year. And next up, next round, right here in Canada as well, over in Mosport, going west of here towards Toronto.
And another great circuit. It's always cool coming here to Three Rivers, the way the city embraces this event, and it is definitely a part of their history, and everyone does love coming here. And then Mosport, man, probably one of the better racetracks in North America as far as appreciating it as a driver. Just a beautiful circuit, so fast.
Certainly going to be a challenge. And no similarities at all between the 2 venues. Here's a move to the inside. That's Hall trying to get around some slower traffic. That's Roberts in the 65.
As we get back to this, what are these going through these young guys' heads, and where are they at mentally? Right now, Peter Dempsey is feeling great. He's got his teammate, Gladys. He's got his teammate Hall. both having the same stuff, and he's dominating them, and that's allowing him to gain more confidence. Conversely, Hall and Gladys seeing this young Irish boy doing so well in the same equipment, that hurts their confidence. And so there's so many cool mind games that get played. It's always good to have teammates if you're the teammate that's winning.
Ardoin in the 51, running along in third. And if our leader Dempsey can hold on, there he is in the 21, and lead every lap here, he'll join Joel Miller, who did that at Sebring to win the first race of the year, and John Edwards, who did that at Salt Lake City in the second race of the year, as they led from the very beginning all the way through every lap in those victories.
Dempsey just looking so nice and smooth. You see his hands working, but really the car never getting away from him. No big slides. Very nice, smooth style. John Edwards has the exact same style. Both of them very smooth with the controls. The car's not sliding around. Ardoin, you see a little bit more cut and slash, sliding the car a little bit more. All effective.
Chuck Hulse is in that number 12 car out of Yorba Linda, California. He's leading the points in the Masters class. And he's caught right in the middle of the battle for the overall points lead, as well as the battle for the win here today.
Yeah, you saw him tighten up his exit there to allow traffic to get by. Edwards gets by. Ardoin, I got to tell you, with what was stated about the tires, and worry about wear on them, just don't know whether Ardoin used too much of his tires too early.
Well, we saw him a couple of those moments where he was really locking things up early on. The one finger meaning one lap to go.
Well, and you know what it is? You're at the start of the race. You want to get positions. You want to attack. But I've certainly done it. Where at the start of a race, I pushed too hard, overworked my rears, and it makes the rest of your race so much more difficult because you really can't get that balance back.
Well, he was one of the very few drivers who had any veteran experience at this circuit, and he also knew, Johnny, that track position is key to this place. If you get the pass done early, it's a lot easier to defend it than take it away.
Exactly, and you've seen Edwards use that strategy against him, just not making any mistakes. Hasn't had to really use a defensive line, but, Edwards, nobody really having the pace right now of Peter Dempsey.
Well, Portland was the problem for Dempsey this year, an 18th and a 19th in the doubleheader out there. If he could have erased that, it would have made a big difference in his season, because he's about to become the only driver of the year to get back-to-back victories. Here he comes. Checker flag falls for Peter Dempsey as he becomes the first driver to score back-to-back victories and just a tremendous amount of momentum in the second half of the season. And he joins John Edwards as the only two-time winner in the 2008 Star Mazda campaign. We'll be right back to talk to the winner. Off Priceline. Save up to half off on hotels only at Priceline. Here's our official results. Peter Dempsey gets the win. Edwards, Ardoin, Miller, and Hall rounding out the top five. Let's go right down to the victory circle area.